Welcome back to Wrestling World. Today I wanted to take another look at the Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt relationship. We'll talk about a few theories and see if we can really break this relationship down with a detailed look. So we lightly touched on the latest developments with this storyline earlier this week, but I didn't dive into it the way I wanted to, so let's take a detailed look at everything. So to recap what happened recently, Alexa Bliss basically led Kevin Owens into a trap, had The Fiend attack him, and held hands with The Fiend to close out the big moment. Now, don't get me wrong, this entire storyline is no doubt my favorite thing on WWE programming right now, and it's very intriguing. But at the same time, this storyline has so much inconsistencies and questions that we still need answered. Before we get into the theories like the Joker and Harley Quinn, let's take a look at some of the inconsistencies first. The main inconsistency in the story is the way Alexa Bliss's character functions. Alexa Bliss is quickly becoming my favorite overall actor in WWE. Her performances with the new version of her character has been amazing and some of her best work yet. But the character itself is really hard to wrap your head around and understand at the moment. So WWE made it clear from the start that Alexa had something special with The Fiend. You can go back and see her interview with Michael Cole from the summer, where Alexa literally says that she enjoyed her time with The Fiend. You usually don't hear that from a victim that was captured by this monster. So that was the first major clue that she liked being with him all those months ago. Then we started seeing Alexa twist her hair, watch The Fiend's matches on TV, and would get extremely defensive if anyone talked bad about The Fiend. Then her character changed again. WWE introduced this new concept that Alexa Bliss was her old normal self until she heard The Fiend's name. Once she heard The Fiend's name, she would hit the Sister Abigail move and enter this trance. We had this version of Alexa Bliss for a few weeks, but then we saw another slight change. During the match with Lacey Evans, WWE was making it seem as if that was the big moment of Alexa Bliss getting possessed by The Fiend. She turned into a monster without hearing his name, only because she was possessed. We also know The Fiend was truly running through her because of the way Alexa looked at Roman Reigns right after her match. That brings us to the Kevin Owens show on Smackdown. This was once again another new version of Alexa Bliss, it seemed. Alexa wasn't her normal self. She wasn't fully possessed. She wasn't doing the thing about hearing The Fiend's name as a trigger word anymore. She just seemed out of her mind, crazy, right from the start. The things she was saying really reminded me of the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. Things like, "It's good to change," and "I was cleansed of all the lies, and only see the truth now." Those are all quotes from Alexa Bliss that really reminded me of an old school Bray Wyatt. Alexa Bliss puts her acting abilities on display again, going from laughing and smiling to leaving this evil look on her face when she said, "Let him in." That leads to The Fiend coming out and attacking Kevin Owens, revealing to us that this was a trap by Alexa Bliss and The Fiend had set up together. So that's why I just felt a little lost with Alexa's character, because WWE was changing The Fiend's effect on her every week. But I think it's clear now. I think she's fully turned and she's with The Fiend now. Another inconsistency is the fact that The Fiend was supposed to be a babyface, or at least that's what everyone was saying. Everyone was saying that Bray and Braun swapped roles. Bray Wyatt became the babyface and Braun Strowman became the heel, because now we see The Fiend attacking an innocent babyface Kevin Owens out of nowhere. So I have some confusion with that as well, but honestly, I think it's better for The Fiend to be one of those neutral characters that will attack anyone. He doesn't care who you are, so if that's the case, then I understand him attacking Kevin Owens. As far as the questions that we still need answered here in this storyline is Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt's relationship. Yes, we just saw Alexa Bliss and The Fiend's relationship on full display. They're working together, setting up superstars and everything else. But one thing WWE has yet to really acknowledge in great detail is the relationship between the actual Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. So far, we've only seen Alexa Bliss be obsessed with The Fiend, but what are her thoughts and feelings about Bray Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse? We have yet to hear what Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt think about each other. I think that's going to be another great chapter down the line for this story. Will The Fiend bring Alexa Bliss over to the Firefly Funhouse eventually? Will we see this new Alexa Bliss interact with Bray Wyatt inside of the Firefly Funhouse? Will Alexa Bliss develop her own multiple personality disorder and have a personality for the Firefly Funhouse and a Fiend alter ego for her matches? Will Alexa Bliss be able to host her own Firefly Funhouse episodes and talk on behalf of The Fiend? That's what I mean by so many unanswered questions. The great thing about this specific storyline is the possibilities are so endless. You can really do a lot with Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. Now let's get into this other fan theory, because I've been seeing it a lot and I agree with it. Fans can't stop talking about how Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss's relationship seem to relate to Harley Quinn and the Joker. I 100% agree with that theory, and wanted to touch on it because I feel like Alexa and Bray mirror a lot of things we often see with the Joker and Harley Quinn. First similarity is that Bray Wyatt and Joker are clearly the initial crazy and unstable characters in the relationship. Bray and Joker's love interest initially starts off as an ordinary woman, but that ordinary woman ends up falling in love with them and turns out just as crazy. That's what happened here in both cases. Joker and Harley's story is extremely popular, so chances are you've heard it before, but basically, Harley Quinn starts off as the Joker's psychologist. She's trying to understand him and help him, but the Joker has something else in mind, and that's to see how much he can manipulate Harley to do things for him, and even let him go free. Joker is able to not only manipulate her and use her, but Harley falls in love with him during the entire process as well. Sounds familiar? Take a look at Alexa and Bray's story. Alexa starts off as being just an ordinary woman, her ordinary self. Bray Wyatt targets her to use her as bait to get Braun Strowman's attention. When Braun Strowman says that he doesn't care what The Fiend does to Alexa Bliss because he doesn't care about her, that causes The Fiend to let Alexa go free. But guess what happened? Exactly similar to Harley Quinn. Alexa Bliss falls in love with The Fiend while she was basically his prisoner. Alexa was also heartbroken at the fact that Strowman not only said he didn't care about her, he also physically threw her into the air, and it was The Fiend who appeared and saved her from Strowman. So that was probably the real turning point for Alexa Bliss and made her really fall for The Fiend, because he just saved her from this monster. With Joker and Harley, the relationship started off being real one-sided. Harley was obsessed with the Joker right from the start, but it took some time for the Joker to really like Harley. So, now we have to ask the same question for Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss. Is this relationship one-sided, or do they both feel the same way with each other? That's going to be really important to find out, with Alexa playing the Harley role here. We don't have to question her love. She's clearly obsessed with The Fiend and wanted this. But for this specific situation, we do have to question Bray Wyatt / The Fiend. Is The Fiend and Bray Wyatt just using Alexa Bliss to reach their own goals and get what they want? Or is this actually a two-sided and fair relationship? That's what we have to keep our eye on. But given all those similarities, it really does seem like WWE may have their own Joker and Harley Quinn, and so far, it's a big hit with the fans. Hopefully, they keep it going and don't mess this up, because the potential for this storyline is insane. What are your thoughts on the comparisons to Joker and Harley Quinn? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.